I got water like overseas. Bitch, how about like NBA? Bitch, how about like MVP? I got money, they envy me. I'm with the gang, I'm with the...
What's good, y'all? It's Demolition, and today we're gonna check out this video that this subscriber wanted me to watch. On my Justice League reaction video, a subscriber put a comment talking about a good reaction, whatever, and he was just basically like, it's crazy how like all the DC fans came together to make this movie happen. And he was like, I should look up this video called "What is the Snyder Cut?" And I was like, send me the link and I'll react to it. So this is for you, the one subscriber that asked me to watch this. But it's gonna be like some good information because I'm not a big DC fan. I'm more of a Marvel person. Like when it comes to DC, I don't know nothing. Even with the Snyder Cut, I knew it was something called the Snyder Cut, but I didn't really know like what exactly it was. I was just looking like, is this Justice League, but like just his version of it? And I was one of those people that was like, this shit ain't gonna never come out. I was one of those people. I wasn't hating or nothing. I was just like, this ain't never gonna happen. Y'all been asking about this for what, how many, 3-4 years now? But y'all got it, so I'm happy for y'all. I'm not hating or nothing. Now I did see some stuff in the trailer comments, and it was just like, I think they said Zack Snyder's daughter committed suicide or something. And the reason they used that song in the trailer was because either that was her favorite song or they played it at her funeral. It was one of those two. But that's all I really know about why he, I guess, backed out. All I know is the information I just told you about his daughter. So yeah, we finna find out what exactly really is the Snyder Cut and the truth behind it.
Even with all the hype surrounding upcoming DC movies like The Batman and Black Adam, it's telling that the one attracting the most attention online is a director's cut of a movie that came out in 2017. But that's the power of the Snyder Cut. After years of rumors and leaks, Zack Snyder's version of Justice League is finally going to see the light of day next year as an HBO Max release. But the road to this point was long, hard, and ridiculously tumultuous. Let's take a long look back at the
so I
history
heard this
of
movie
Justice
about to be
League
like
and
4
why it
hours
took
long.
so long for the
What?
Snyder Cut to evolve from dream to reality.
But I think this is gonna be like episode parts or whatever, like an hour-long episode like Netflix be doing. So yeah.
To understand why the Snyder Cut exists at all, you have to go back to 2016 and the unfavorable reception of Batman v Superman.
I liked
Dawn
it.
of
I don't
Justice.
care. That's
Justice
one of my
League
favorite
was
movies. I
originally
liked it.
intended to be the third act of Snyder's larger 5-movie DC saga, one that would later be followed by Justice League Part 2 and an unknown 5th DC film. However, while Snyder had largely been given creative freedom on 2013's Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, the reception to the latter film in particular seemed to have resulted in the higher-ups at Warner's stepping in for a Justice League intervention. Among other details revealed during a 2016 visit to the Leavesden set, IGN learned Justice League was now planned as a standalone project rather than a two-part deal. That set visit also made it apparent that the Warner's overlords were aiming for a lighter tone in Justice League.
Just like a bat. I dig it.
To counter the criticisms calling Batman v Superman overly serious.
You were never a god.
But I thought DC is like more serious than Marvel. But that's what y'all be saying anyway.
Even star
DC
Ben
fans.
Affleck noted later that year that Justice League was more in line with traditional heroic portrayals of Batman, compared to the dark and brooding hero seen in Batman v Superman. This is more the Batman you would find if you opened up your average Batman comic book, Affleck told Entertainment Weekly at the time. These were early signs that Snyder's vision for Justice League didn't entirely align with that of Warner Brothers, but that was just the beginning. DC fans were stunned in May 2017 when it was announced Snyder had left Justice League in the wake of a family tragedy. In his place, Warner Brothers turned to Joss Whedon, the Avengers director, with a notable comedic touch.
Are you even pulling? Are you on my
Oh, he made Age of Ultron? So why is Justice League bad?
Whedon would oversee reshoots and complete the tumultuous superhero crossover.
Age of Ultron
and while
was,
Snyder
I mean, it wasn't that
retained
good,
sole
but like, it wasn't
directing
terrible
credit
like
in
Justice League was.
Whedon was given the screenplay credit with Chris Terrio, who had worked on the script before Whedon joined the project. On the surface, this sounds like a case of a studio dealing with a bad situation the best it could. However, rumors later surfaced suggesting Snyder's departure was much more complicated than fans were led to believe. Several reports have suggested Snyder's job was already in jeopardy well before he officially quit. Collider corroborated a series of tweets from journalist Josh L. Dickey suggesting Snyder had effectively already been fired from Justice League in early 2017. Reportedly, executives at Warner's were deeply unhappy with the rough cut of the film. Collider's Matt Goldberg wrote,
Everybody
I
was.
also heard that Snyder's rough cut of the movie was unwatchable. A word that jumped out at me because it's rare you hear two separate sources use the exact same adjective. Of course, even if that's true, there's obviously more to the story, since rough cuts can be fixed up with reshoots, rewrites, etc. Whatever the exact reasons for Snyder's Justice League departure, the end result is that the film became a product of two directors with divergent goals. Snyder wanted to continue his 5-movie plan for the DCEU, while Whedon was
forgot all about
focused
that
on the task he
Deathstroke
had been given, molding Justice League into something else entirely. It wasn't long before speculation began to grow that a very different version of Justice League exists somewhere within the Warner's vaults. Neither Warner's nor Whedon have ever been very forthcoming about how much new footage was shot for Justice League after Snyder's departure. In fact, all involved seem to downplay the impact Whedon's hiring would have on the finished film. Warner Brothers chairman Toby Emmerich told The Hollywood Reporter in 2017, "The directing is minimal, and it has to adhere to the style and tone and template that Zack set. We're not introducing any new characters, it's the same characters in some new scenes. He's handing a baton to Joss, but the course has really been set by Zack. I still believe that despite this tragedy, we'll still end up with a great movie." However, Variety indicated the reshoot process was both extensive and costly, in part because of the looming November 2017 release date and scheduling conflicts with the various actors involved. It doesn't take much detective work to see just how much the scope and direction of Justice League changed with time. Between trailers featuring some scenes that aren't in the final film and characters like Robin Wright's General Antiope and Willem Dafoe's Volko being cut from the film entirely, there's clearly a great deal of Justice League footage that was left on the cutting room floor. Henry Cavill's facial hair alone created unexpected production headaches, hence the infamous phenomenon known
that
as
shit was so
mustache.
terrible, bro.
Because Cavill was required to maintain a mustache as part of his commitment to Paramount's Mission Impossible.
It was for that
Fallout,
movie. Okay, I never
Justice
knew.
League's VFX team was forced to digitally remove his mustache in post-production, resulting in, well, you can see for yourself. In fact, Superman's face serves as a telltale
That shit
clue
was so
as to
funny,
which
bro.
scenes were shot by Whedon as opposed to Snyder, given that the digitally removed mustache is, you know, that's a weird lip.
You can still kind of see it. Low key.
By that uncanny valley effect, it stands to reason Whedon directed quite a bit of the footage that made it into the final cut. Snyder himself has given us the clearest idea of just how much footage was cut from Whedon's version. In 2019, he posted an image on Vero of what appears to be film canisters labeled ZS JL Director's Cut, running time 2:14. Whedon's Justice League clocks in at a relatively lean 121 minutes. Perhaps the growing demand for the Snyder Cut would have been avoided if the theatrical release had met with a slightly better reception. The movie opened to very mixed reviews. It now has a decidedly unfresh 40% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Need to be
still
lower
puts
than
it
that.
above predecessors Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, but
Hell
the
no.
showing we'd expect from a movie.
I'd rather
featuring
watch
DC's
Suicide
biggest
Squad
and
and
biggest hero.
BVS than
In
this.
his review of Justice League, IGN's Jim Vejvoda noted that Justice League was very clearly the product of two directors with two very different plans for the film.
The story spends so much time trying to establish the new characters and cheer things up after BVS that the movie never quite finds its rhythm.
Many hardcore superhero fans were even less impressed with the movie. All you need to do is peruse the user reviews on a site like IMDb to get the impression fans were not happy with the theatrical version of Justice League. Just a shattered movie with no heart and identity, says one reviewer. Warner Brothers should be ashamed of themselves, says
This is the
another.
movie that killed
frosty
DC for me. I'm like,
reception
it's
is
not
also
no hope for
reflected in the
DC.
film's box office
Because I like Man
By
of
the time
Steel,
Justice League ended its
BVS,
theatrical run in March 2018,
Wonder Woman,
it
Suicide
became
Squad. But this movie, I'm like,
being
nah, I can't do
the
it no more.
lowest grossing movie in the entire DCEU up to that point. When the tag team combo of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Flash can't sell tickets, something has gone wrong. Once the bad reviews started piling up and it became apparent just how much the theatrical release of Justice League differed from the version Snyder envisioned, a segment of the DC fanbase became very vocal in demanding the
remember
original
those.
version be released. That led to the rise of the Snyder Cut movement. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut. And a concerted push
Went
online
on for
from Bobby
years.
Warner for the film's release. Though a studio exec told the Wall Street Journal in 2018 there were no plans to release any sort of alternate cut of Justice League, the Snyder Cut movement continued to gain momentum in the months that followed. The campaign even began raising money through crowdfunding sites with the goal of using half of the funds to boost awareness of the Snyder Cut and the other half being donated to the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention in honor of Snyder's late daughter, Autumn. The fruits of that crowdfunding effort were made apparent in 2019. Several forms of advertising were spotted at San Diego Comic-Con, most notably a plane flying a banner reading WB, #Release the Snyder Cut of Justice League. Later in 2019, the group purchased billboard space in Times Square during New York Comic-Con.
Y'all DC fans is crazy.
It was safe to say even casual DC fans were aware of the Snyder Cut phenomenon. Soon, the Justice League
Y'all DC fans really wanted this movie, huh? I mean, y'all got it coming up.
In 2019, Gal Gadot tweeted an image of herself as Wonder Woman with the hashtag Release the Snyder Cut. Snyder and Affleck, along with Cyborg actor Ray Fisher and Deathstroke actor Joe Manganiello, followed her example. With the theatrical release of Justice League now 2 years past, the cast seemed finally ready and willing to speak more frankly about their experiences on the film and their desire to see Snyder's original vision come to fruition. Ben Affleck seemed particularly bothered about the way in which the studio elected to finish the film, referring to the theatrical release as kind of a cow's body with a horse's head a little bit. According to Ray Fisher, the reshoot process was anything but smooth. In 2020, Fisher went as far as to accuse Whedon of toxic and abusive behavior on set, and DC higher-ups like Jeff Johns and John Berg of enabling Whedon's alleged bad behavior. While we don't know what exactly Fisher is accusing Whedon of, Fisher later said Warner Media has launched an internal investigation into the director's conduct during filming. But let's bounce back to 2019. At this point, there was no question as to whether Snyder's version of Justice League existed in some form. It was more a matter of whether that footage was in a state fit to be consumed by the general public, how much money would be required to convert Snyder's footage from rough cut to finished movie, and was that a price Warner Brothers was willing to pay? Warner's continued to downplay the Snyder Cut throughout 2019. In November 2019, The Hollywood Reporter wrote, despite the groundswell of speculation that a Snyder Cut could go to Warner Brothers' upcoming streaming service HBO Max, insiders tell The Hollywood Reporter no announcement of a release of any such cut is imminent. However, Jason Momoa delivered a very different message to fans that same month, revealing that he had seen the Snyder Cut and implying it actually did exist as a completed film.
Oh, wow.
I think the public needs to see it, Momoa told MTV.
Okay, he just confirmed it.
By early 2020, the winds seemed to finally be shifting when it came to the Snyder Cut. Heroic Hollywood wrote Zack Snyder held a private screening of his cut of Justice League in the first quarter of 2020, with executives from DC in attendance. According to an individual with knowledge of the situation,
I'm sorry if y'all hearing the PS4 noise in the background. My friends is inviting me to a party.
Underway. The dam finally burst in May 2020 following a live stream director's commentary of Man of Steel. Snyder reunited with Cavill to tell fans the Snyder Cut of Justice League will debut on HBO Max in 2021.
See that?
Y'all was going crazy.
Oh my God.
I want to thank HBO Max and Warner Brothers for this brave gesture of supporting artists and allowing their true visions to be realized, Snyder said in a statement alongside the announcement. It's still unclear if the Snyder Cut will be released in episodic chapters or as a full director's cut, but the Snyders are reportedly currently reassembling much of their original post-production crew to score, cut, add new, and finish old visual effects, and yes, maybe bring back many of the actors to record additional dialogue, reported THR. Though the Snyder Cut won't be debuting until some point in 2021, Snyder has already started to give fans teases of the big changes in store. Darkseid will actually appear in this version, and Superman will don his black suit.
They're all too weak.
That black suit looks sweet as hell.
I
bro.
believe in truth, but I'm also a big fan of justice.
So there you have it. The Snyder Cut is not only real, but it's actually going to see the light of day once Snyder finishes it. But will it actually live up to the expectations that drove all those hashtags or those crowdfunding
Man,
sites,
if this
or that
movie
plane
flop,
back at Comic-Con?
this can be the
Only
biggest
time
flop in
will
history.
tell. Until then, keep it locked to IGN for all your DC movie news.
All right, cool. That was a lot to take in. Y'all DC fans is crazy. Imagine if Marvel did some shit like this. The whole world. I don't know what would happen if Marvel did some shit like this. But that's good to see y'all come together to get what y'all want. But yeah, hopefully this movie is good. I'm not gonna say nothing bad. I just hope this movie is super good. From the trailer, it looked way better. But I mean, trailers can be deceiving sometimes. The trailers be better than the damn movie sometimes. But hopefully you DC fans is happy. As a Marvel fan, I'm excited for this movie. This movie and Batman look really good, so no hate. It's throwing at DC for now. No hate. Wait till these movies come out, then I'm gonna decide if I like DC again, or I'm just gonna stay on the side where I just don't like none of this shit no more. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Shout out to the person that told me to react to this video. I mean, not told me to react to it, but recommended this video. If you enjoyed it, smash the like button and leave a comment down below, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.
You is a lie. You is not good for